Good morning, everybody. It's day 66. It's dawn. There's a few half dozen actually, skeletons just sort of on the horizon over here. But in Edgington, things are good. Things are fine. We're working. We're plodding along, and everything's kind of okay. And of course, the blaze of light from everyone holding up their torches. Oh. Can you imagine if we ever had to, like, attack things as a mob? Jeez. Now, the only thing that worries me about the skeletons is that there's one here that's just sort of on the coastline. And if he marches forward long enough, he'll end up in the water. And if he marches close enough to here, he'll start to go directly underneath the town hall. And that's a problem for me, because it will mean that... well, it'll mean we can't attack him. He'll just be there, grabbing everybody's attention, who will either flee or attempt futilely to attack him. So, I need to get somebody over there. And it looks like... whoop, Trunks. I mean, you're wielding a hunting knife, but I don't necessarily trust you to not die against quite a few skeletons here, so could you come back over to here, please? There's one skeleton over here as well, but he's least concern. Looks like we've got Garrett over here. Oh, decked out in steel, pretty much. Level 7 infantry. You should be able to take care of these. Skeletons aren't... like, I would say spiders are probably our least concern in this game, but skeletons are not terribly much higher up. Just because you can outmaneuver skeletons very quickly, very easily. Okay, back here. Hey, Helena! Helena has max leveled! Congratulations! Oh, and that's Sawtooth doing the same dang thing here. And it looks like you are very near to the same speed as a heavily unarmored person. Okay, heavily unarmored person swimming, so I'll have to bear that in mind. But anyways, just head on over here. Let's keep diverting our foragers for the moment. There's nobody over here just right now, but we should be able to get that covered. Let me just check if we actually have anybody else on the roads. Do we have anybody else, like, getting ready to come out here? No, I don't see anybody there. Anyone over here? No. Do we seriously only have Garrett on patrol right now? If so, why? Bleep. Suddenly a whole ton of things about fishing poles. Okay, how many do we have? Why are we getting so many people telling me about fishing poles? Jeez. Oh, because Kyo is currently resting up. Right. Because you don't cover... yeah, you sleep during dawn. Okay, so you sleep during dawn. Is there anybody else currently in, like... oh, yeah, here we go. Belinda. Let's see, where are you set to? Dawn. Yep. Waylon. Also dawn. Okay. We must have somebody else. Surely. What's going on here? Is somebody set to all sleep just so that they, Nope, looks like we have somehow... encountered ourselves a problem here, so let me just do that for you. And I'll get Rafe back on the patrols as well. And meanwhile, Garrett, I guess you're on your own for this one. Oops. And just while that's going, let's see, tools. Fishing pole. Yeah, there aren't any fishing poles here. Okay, let's add 10 to the list then. And we're back to the top of the list. We should be seeing ourselves to something going on pretty soon here. Nope, keep coming. Right, head over this way. And meanwhile, could you hop back over here, because you will cause me some distraction. Okay, first one. Garrett's not quite at full health. We can see some space down here. But, they're not minimum concern, but they're minimal concern. And you're decked out with steel and an iron heater shield and a steel halberd. You should be able to take these guys, even at level 7. Come on. Okay, come on. I believe in you. Yeah, there we go. And he's leveled up. Hooray. Even better. Okay, next one. Before the foragers try to come back. Okay, good. Next. And that one's in the water now, so I probably need to try and lure him out. I love that their pathfinding updates where, whoop, spotted by Rafe. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. That's the one that we knew was there anyways. Okay, I will leave Rafe to that one because it's a single skeleton. Rafe is at full health. Rafe shouldn't have any trouble with that. Okay, we need to try and lure this guy out of the water or we're pretty much never gonna get him. Okay, spotted. Oh, looks like Rafe's taking some damage. But it's still good for the moment. And they're near death, so... yeah, there we go. No problem. Okay, come on. Good, down. Garrett, there's a few more here. Trunks, you're getting very close to battle here. Ooh, where the heck are you off to, Leonard? Leonard, over here. Yuck. Right. Game paused, because we just spotted another one. I should get rid of those messages, because as we have learned, tragically, in fact, as we have learned, if you don't get rid of those, they don't get overridden by new ones. In the arms. Little hit, you're okay. Okay, we've got more to deal with. 2 more, at least. Oh, there's another one up here, wandering about. And there's 2 more in the forests. So we should be able to handle them. Oh, no, another one. Another one spotted? Yeah, that one. Okay, that's fine. So, we should be in a position soon where our foragers can go out safely again. Foraging isn't a massive problem for us. Oh, I do know there is a boar here. But it is something we need to keep in mind. Right. Ha! I think I'm in a reasonable position to actually start talking today. Yep, spotted. I know. There's the bronze hammer was broken there as well. Come on, Garrett. Give him some going. Hopefully we can easily make a new bronze hammer. Oh, that's sore. Careful from that boar. How you doing? Okay, you're about half health. You should be okay. And again, we've got somebody just going... Don't tell me you're going to that weird little pond that's like way over here. You must be, because there's no other reason you should be out this far. Okay, what's Rafe packing? Steel and bronze. Not best, but it should suffice. A steel halberd. Level 13 infantry. Oh, that's Akko as well. Akko's woken up. Hooray. There we go. Down in 1 hit. No problem. No problems at all. Okay. Ha! Right. We have so many skeletons to gather from here. But yeah, my topic of the day. The thing I'm going to be talking about for like the next 10 minutes. Is in fact representation, because it's actually something that I've had to like figure out and deal with recently. I think probably like a story of Christmas more or less comes across here, because about a week or 2 before Christmas this past year, I started making some changes to my appearance, making some changes to my silhouette. I added boobs, is the very simple, blunt way of putting it. And I'm well aware, like, I am well aware of the social issues of the day, as it were. I'm aware that I live in what is basically an urban hellscape. And I know that there's plenty of people suffering from trying to do anything about their identities and such. So, consequently, when I did that, I was already anticipating that there would be some kind of trouble. So I put up some messages, I made my family aware that this was a thing that was happening. Oh, hey, we have another skelly over here. Oh, and Trunks has leveled up. Congrats. You should be okay, I think. We'll find out very soon. You are harvesting from the skeletons that are directly around him. Hopefully our foragers don't have too much trouble there. But, oh, we have here. I have Garrett coming back here. Garrett can handle it. Garrett is virtually unstoppable. You killed like 6 different skelly bobs yourself. Can I click on that all the way over here? I don't think I can. But yeah, so I anticipated there would be conversation. I anticipated that there would be questions. I even kind of expected that there would be some pushback on this. Not terribly much, because my family is not the most conservative in the universe. Okay, let's get Garrett over to here, please. And Trunks, please kindly do not try to attack this thing. Just go about yon merry way. Oh, and Garrett, you don't seem to have your armor or weapons on. Please don those kindly before you go and attack things. Grand, good. Just, was a little bit nervous there. Whoop. There we go, down in 2. A little bit more injured, but that's fine. You've got a lot of sleep coming up. Okay. So yeah, this is kind of like, that's kind of what I expected. I expect that to be questions, I expect that to be some concerns. I expected somebody to tell me that I'm being ridiculous, or something to that effect. What I got was surprising. What I ultimately, like, got at 2 different, like, Christmas parties and stuff, was absolutely nothing. Not a single thing was spoken of it. Direct efforts by me to have people talk about it were sort of rebuffed. No one's saying they didn't want to talk about it, just sort of the conversation ended there. And I gotta say, it did not feel great. And I guess that kind of comes to the head of the topic today, which is that representation is not the absence of rejection. It is the presence of inclusion. Because I expect when I change something about my physicality, about my presentation, and my identity, my sexuality, all these different statements, that someone is going to have a conversation with me. I expect, and I'm not saying that anything I've done is, but I expect if I make a colossal mistake, if I am being ridiculous, or if there's the possibility that I'm about to screw up my life, that somebody will come up to me and engage me and talk to me about this to make sure I know what I'm doing, that kind of thing. And no one did. No one said I shouldn't be doing this, which is a good start, I guess, but nobody actually, like... How do I put this? No one addressed it. It wasn't on screen, it was just in the paper. That kind of thing. And that didn't feel great. That didn't feel like acceptance, that just felt like the absence of exclusion. Which is a weird thing to describe, but that is basically the easiest way I can put it. And that's the bare bones of what representation is. Representation is not saying these characters could be gay, or these characters could be trans. It's saying these characters are gay and showing it, and these characters are trans and showing it, ideally in a tasteful manner, because certainly there have been plenty of blunders on that plan. But it's like you can't just say that you can't say that a character is gay. You have to show that a character is gay. It's like and it's a brief point, I guess, but it's very poignant, I think. To realize that representation doesn't finish at saying the possibility is there, or saying, oh yeah, they totally are, or whatever. It's, no, they have to be actually shown, it has to be incorporated. Doesn't have to be a centerpiece, doesn't have to be a major plot point, but it has to be there. You don't need to have the polyamorous lesbians making out on screen all the time for like 10 minutes at a go, but having them there, and maybe like a peck on the cheek when they go off to a different scene, or maybe like holding hands whilst they're walking down like a walk and talk shot or something like that. That kind of has to happen. And I'm getting some lag here. I wonder what's going on. There's nobody stood underneath there. Who do we have on guard here? Currently Waylon. Wait, Waylon? Samantha is currently on there, Seth is down there, and Clifton is over here. Clifton is our trainee archer. Yes. But yeah, I wonder how many people stop halfway. I wonder how many people think that just not excluding people is sufficient. Because representation, it really doesn't stop there. At least that's something I'm experiencing now. That's something I'm getting to experience. Yay for me. Like, I know there's a long-standing thing of this is going to be news to some people, which is kind of depressing. There's a long-standing thing of Joss Whedon was a feminist. Was. In the 90s, Joss Whedon was borderline revolutionary because he had an actual lesbian story inside of Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Ah, Letitia's leveled up, hooray. And, you know, they kissed, they had a relationship, their relationship evolved and was shown on screen. They even, how do I put this next one? They even expressed the relationship activities of a spouse, at nighttime? I don't know. Like, that was very clear and known, and it was obvious, and discovering that a character was gay was an actual plot point that was not just discarded after a given storyline. And at the time, that was grand. And sort of Joss Whedon hasn't changed since, is the problem. Feminism, equality, LGBT concerns and issues have evolved considerably in the last nearly 20 years. But, oh, wolf spotted by Willow. Oh, hello. We have Willow over here, who is fully decked out again, and level 10. You shouldn't have any trouble with these. I will, nonetheless, be keeping an eye on you, but you shouldn't have any trouble with, 3-4 wolves. 5, 6 wolves. Are there any more wolves? Is that all the wolves? That looks like it's all the wolves. I hope no one else decides to go for a long meander into the woods to fish. Like you, Leonard. Wolves should be okay. With a decent infantry and a steel halberd and mostly steel gear, you should be able to handle this. But we'll keep an eye, just in case. Yes, you're spotting many wolves. Yes, I know. See, barely damaged. Oh boy. 2 down in 1 hit. Nice. And 1 down in 2 hits. Well, I guess all things averages. Down again. Another one. Yep. You've taken a tick of damage. You're doing fine. Nicely done, Willow. Jeez, how much XP did you just get from that? Yeah, decent chunk. Decent chunk. And that's a lot more leather for us. Hooray. So yeah, like, and Joss Whedon's idea of a good female character is, she's strong and can be independent and does not need a romance, but here's a romance anyways. But she is strong. It's like, yeah, you're accomplishing a degree of feminism, and in the 90s, it was fine. It was good. It was a grand old level of feminism. And it just hasn't changed, which is the depressing part for him, really. It's like, okay, at the time, bravo, you've given us a strong female character, who is not defined by her relationships, but can still choose to have them. And you've given us LGBT characters, well, one kind of LGBT, I guess you could, there's at least one point in that story that's almost transgendered issues. It's a guy who's possessed by a girl and physically changes into the girl when she's taking over. It's a weird one. Many parts of Buffy were weird. But these days, you don't get applause for that. You don't get applause for that because that's come to be expected. Feminism is not advanced by holding a status quo that was achieved nearly 20 years ago. LGBT issues are not advanced by holding to bases that were established nearly 20 years ago. We have to progress. That's what it means to be progressive. And that means we need more representation. It is not enough to say we don't outlaw it. It is not enough to say you can. It's enough to say it is, and you are. But, so that's the situation I'm living with right now. Oh, bronze pick is broken. Oh no. I know that a few family members, I think, watch my videos, including these videos. So I'd be curious to find out what they think in the comments. And to be clear, I'm not going to hold anyone to a fire over all this. Like, I'm bringing it up as a point to discuss and talk about because it was an interesting thing that I noticed as a consequence of just this recent change-up. We need some rope. Press enter. I need some rope. Make 10 of it. We don't use the animal hair for pretty much anything, so that's fine. And let's make some more leather. And let's move that to above the leather tunic so that we actually finish that and then do the leather tunic. Well, those wolves didn't last very long, did they? Looks like there was one of them still over here. Yeah, just the one. He's fine. You better not go after Leonard. Oh, that's Wolfram! Wolfram! Wolfram, what are you doing? Wolfram, why? Wolfram, no. Why did you pick this one? I mean, I guess it's secluded and quiet. You've got that going for you, know, the hustle and bustle. But you're also right near where the monsters turn up. Jeez. That's dangerous. Ugh. Seeing a lot of dancing on the stone as well. Is that a problem for us? Is that an indicator that we have something to add here? I've got plenty of mining storage, so that's not an issue. Nobody appears to be stuck. But I can tell anyways. I don't know. I don't know what's going on there. Also, we're making good progress over here. Hooray. So yeah, let me know in the comments what you think. What you think is the actual qualification of being representation. I'm very curious as ever to hear what people think about these issues, what different opinions and viewpoints are. And Wolf has been split up by Belinda Cole. Oh, right, you're one of our infantries. Right, I'd forgotten that name. Okay, level 10, good. Steel Great Helm and a Steel Halberd. Level 10 should make this relatively easy for you, but here's hoping. I'll keep an eye just in case. Wolves are just a little too quick for you. There we go, down in one. No hit. Good. Some more leather for us. I feel like we should have gathered more for all those wolves, but they might have just not been delivered back yet. Let's take a look. liver. Yeah, there's like 9 more. Oh boy. Let's get that on the list, shall we? We've apparently crafted all of the liver gems we were gonna have. Yay! Anyways, yeah, let me know what you think. Again, I'm not putting anyone to a fire on this. It's just sort of something that happened that made me realize a few things that I hadn't previously considered. But yeah. And, you know, if these things happen, if I make more changes, you are free to voice, questions and such. Like, let's have a dialogue on this, please. But, I don't think there's gonna be any major shift-ups for, like, the next while, at least. But, anyways, things are chugging along quite nicely in Edgington. And I shall, as ever, catch you for, the next episode, talking about I don't know what in the afternoon of day 66. Catch you next time.